Taylor Swift and some other events that we will cue you in on. Are you guys close?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thanks, I appreciate it.
Who we waiting on?
We were just waiting on Fox.
Oh, okay. All right, all right. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, as I said, thank you all for coming. Our format will follow. We will go through our program. Any questions will be taken by Colin, myself, and Mr. Wood regarding all of the other events. And with that, our mayor, Mayor Authority.
Thank you, Mr. Terry, and good morning once again. As mentioned, we are prepared, and of course, we're built to host relative to Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour coming to the city of New Orleans. Just want to thank you again for joining us on today as we kick off our Taylor Swift week in New Orleans, again, built to host. We are just happy for this two monumental events coming to the city. Now, we're using this tour really as a precursor for the Super Bowl, hosting Super Bowl in the city of New Orleans, but very, very excited for the three-day Taylor Swift Eras Tour, again, in the city of New Orleans. We know that this is a great opportunity and always to showcase our culture and the world-class city that the city of New Orleans that we are. We have partnered, of course, with all city departments, all public safety agencies to ensure that we have a successful week and a weekend full of events. Public safety has always been a top priority and absolutely remains our top focus as well as we prepare. Both local, state, and federal partners, again, are assembled, and you will hear from some of them on this morning. As I mentioned, we're just utilizing this opportunity as a test trial for the Super Bowl coming up. And just again, we've embarked upon a summer, if you will, of Super Bowl coined by our CAO. And we've just had so many infrastructure projects happening throughout the city of New Orleans. And just maximizing the opportunity as we prepare for Super Bowl to just go deep and even further advancing infrastructure improvements, of course, in our core, but really citywide as well. We're making sure that we are just standing up and ready to host with many, many events, of course, planned, but also that of the Mayor's Office of Cultural Economy. Again, putting our culture on full display as the city continues to embrace our culture. We'll have an Embrace of the Culture Festival all 3 days at Duncan Plaza, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we do need volunteers. We'll give you information as it relates to how you can join and be prepared to host. Again, we are built to host in the city of New Orleans. We will also activate multiple social media platforms to award Taylor Swift with not only a key to the city, but just showing the real love that only the city of New Orleans can produce and provide. And so we're very excited about that. So without further ado, I wanted to ask our Director of Homeland Security, Colin Arnold, to give you an update, and then we will run through our public safety team as well as partners assembled here this morning. So, Colin?
Good morning, almost afternoon, everybody. It is going to be an amazing week next week. Obviously, Taylor Swift is top of mind. You know, the potential for 150,000 or more in attendance coming through. From what we've seen, even just the merchandising is larger than some festivals on its own. So this is going to be an incredibly busy week. It's going to be a challenging week for our public safety, but we just received a briefing upstairs. All of our departments are ready to go, and not just public safety, but all of our infrastructure teams and our human services teams as well. We did receive a briefing from the National Weather Service, and I would just pass on that although this is a little bit early for looking at next Friday, that the rain chances are leaning more towards drier, more towards what the weather we have been experiencing. Temperatures in the mid 70s as highs and the 60s as the low temperatures throughout next week. We'll obviously be paying attention to the weather in case any of that changes, but I guess the short story on that is it's going to be beautiful out here, and it's going to be just great weather for all of the events that are going on both inside and outside. I would remind folks that if you are interested in looking at the weather before you plan your day, please visit the city's weather station website. That's weatherwise.nola.gov. It's just a great way to be able to plan your day if you need to. The Office of Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness will activate the city's Emergency Operations Center next week for the Taylor Swift concert series and for Halloween throughout that weekend into next week. We'll be at a level 2 activation. This is obviously planning, this event alone will draw large crowds to the Superdome and downtown area, and all of our residents and visitors are encouraged to take care in large crowds and report any suspicious activity to public safety officials. And I'm going to go one step further. We say it all the time, but these large outdoor events, particularly this, if you see something, say something, not just to a public safety official, but anyone you see, working for the city of New Orleans, whether it be a sanitation worker, someone for DPW, Sewage and Water Board. We are all connected either by radio or by phone. We will be in the Emergency Operations Center, and if somebody is experiencing or seeing something that is suspicious in these large crowds, we want to know about it. I'd like to remind everyone that these crowds typically, and what we've been briefed on, are a lot of parents and a lot of teenagers, especially teenage girls. We want to make sure that everybody is safe and has a great time here, and is that there's no danger for them. And so, be on the lookout and just, be very aware of your surroundings. We know of no specific threat to any of these concerts at this time. We were briefed by our federal partners this morning with Homeland Security investigations. We will have FBI and HSI on board with us. They will be looking for things like human trafficking, which is always important in these events. And so there's a lot of connections going on there. We're very excited about it. There's also the opening Pelicans NBA basketball game on the 23rd, right before Taylor Swift comes into town, and that's against the Bulls, so we anticipate crowds with that. All in all, this is just going to be, a lot of people down here. I would say at this time, if you haven't registered for NOLA Ready text alerts, please do by texting NOLA Ready, one word, to 77295. We're going to be active throughout next week, trying to give people indication of, maybe where there's going to be some parking and traffic situations, or, and we're obviously not hoping on this, but any type of significant event that we need to report out to the public, we will do that. I'd also add that we've worked this week, the past 2 weeks, with the Secretary of State and the Registrar of Voters on early voting. As traditionally City Hall is an early voting location, it still is, but we've added another early voting location just because of the anticipated crowds that will be here throughout the day and night during a lot of these nights next week. And so that is a Treme Rec Center right outside of Armstrong Park. That early voting started today and goes through the 29th every day except Sundays. You can find out more by visiting the city's website or ready.nola.gov. I would just like to highlight one thing that developed. We have some off-street parking in the parking lot at Mahalia Jackson for voting. There's plenty of street parking as well that's available all the time. But October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, due to some film production, we will not have access to the parking lots around the Treme Center for voting, but you will have street parking there. I just wanted to get that out there because that actually just developed within about the last hour. Other than that, again, NOLA Ready, text NOLA Ready to 77295, and we're ready, and we want to show everyone around the world what we do best, which is hospitality and handling multiple events, and that's what we aim to do.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yes, ma'am.
so much, Colin. And we are Also following suit what we've seen in other cities with the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. We will kick off tomorrow with a bike and vote, so that early vote component, we will be highlighting that. Also, as it relates to a food bank, we've activated donations for the Second Harvest Food Bank, and that is again in alignment with Ms. Swift. So with that, I'm going to ask, I have my chief, Chief Gantier, please come forth, New Orleans Police Department.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. The NOPD has been in preparation for this event and everything surrounding it for months, and we look forward to everyone having an enjoyable time, but we also wish everyone a safe experience. So having said that, our staffing, we will be at 100% working. They will be working 12-hour days. We have our mounted patrols, we will have foot patrols, and we'll have bicycle patrols all throughout this event. Our Bourbon Street coverage will also have extra officers assigned to Bourbon Street. As always, we'll be working with our federal, state, and local partners to ensure a safe event. There will be some closures. There'll be temporary street closures in both the interior and exterior of the French Quarter. But however, that still will allow people to get to their hotels, to work, and those who live there should not have an issue. There will be no real permanent closures outside the French Quarter, but with the large turnout that is expected, our traffic division will be monitoring the pedestrian and vehicular traffic, and if needed, we'll shut down certain streets. The following streets may experience closures during this traffic that is congested: Poydras Street, Canal Street, Loyola Avenue, Convention Center Boulevard. But that is, again, that is a call that our traffic division is going to make. So we ask that you leave early and give yourself plenty of time to arrive to wherever your destination may be. We'd also like to give you some safety tips to those out there listening and our visitors to the city, right? So try to stay in groups and stay together whenever possible. Plan on a known meeting place in case you get lost or separated. We ask you to stay vigilant in your surroundings. We also ask you, for our visitors, we would ask you not to do anything that you wouldn't do in your hometown. Just because you're in New Orleans doesn't mean that you can stray from that thought, all right? But we do wish everyone fun, and we do wish you for a safe experience. Thank you.
We want the Swifties to be safe. All right. So thank you so much, Chief. I'm going to ask the Louisiana State Police, come forward. We have State Police. Okay. Okay, no problem. We'll keep it moving. So I'm going to ask my Deputy Director, Wood, Frederick Delahousse, to come brief you from the Mayor's Office of Cultural Economy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Greetings, everybody. As the Mayor alluded to, Duncan Plaza has been identified as the rideshare pickup and drop-off zone during this Eras Tour concert. So it gives us an opportunity, unique opportunity to do what we do and showcase to the tens of thousands of Swifties and to the overall community for us to showcase our culture in a meaningful way. So the Embrace the Culture Festival, which is proudly presented by the City of New Orleans, will be 3 days during the time of the concert of food trucks, of cultural artists, of artists and artisans who will be showcasing their talents and showcasing to all the world what we do here in New Orleans. We will feature the likes of Angelica Jelly Joseph, of High Sizzle, Brassaholics and Mecca, Dwayne Dupsy, Flow Tribe, so many different folks that will be showcased, and it again adds an opportunity for us to do an economic, cultural impact for our city, and also talk to these Swifties about how New Orleans do what we do, right? So many thanks to all the city departments that have collaborated on this, including the CAO's office, property management, sanitation, homeless services. Shout out to Brother Nate and all he does to get resources to our houseless neighbors, the NOPD, EMS, NOFD, and everyone coordinating to make sure the Embrace the Culture Festival is the second hottest spot in the city during that weekend, right? So again, we'll be in Duncan Plaza from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. all 3 days. Come out, enjoy Halloween, enjoy Swiftie Mania. As always, you can follow us on Embrace the Culture Nola on Instagram and go to the website for more information, Office of Cultural Economy. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Absolutely. Now, as we have been preparing for this weekend, I really have to say our partners with ASM have just done a really, I would say, incredible job at looking at where these events have happened previously, in terms of even Miami will be before the city of New Orleans, but taking lessons learned and in real time, just trimming down or tailoring as necessary. We have Michael Haas, you'll speak on behalf of ASM, and I know Joe had to leave, but welcome, man. Looking good.
Good morning. I'm not used to being on this side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Can
You
I
all right.
go over there and ask myself a question?
Don't start that now on this side.
I want to talk about a couple of areas. My name is Mike Haas. I am the Manager of Media Relations for ASM and the LSED, the Superdome. Couple of areas for ticketed fans, non-ticketed fans, merchandise, and parking. And for the record, I am a non-ticketed fan. I do not have tickets for this weekend. Some basics, right? Show times. On Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be open, but the days of the concerts, Champion Square 2:30, Superdome gates at 4:30, show begins at 6:45. No tickets will be sold at the stadium. I don't know who wrote that sentence. That's pretty good. So transportation, and I don't want to contradict, but we will be having ride share available here at Duncan Plaza. That is a cultural event. The ride share will begin at 7 a.m. Thursday morning and continue until 7 a.m. on Monday, the 28th. It is a short walk. I walked it this morning. If you've been to any other stadium, all of your ride shares are not at the front door. They are just like this. You'll be able to enjoy the culture and get to the event, and you'll have a smart way to know where your Uber or Lyft driver is going to be. Merchandise, and again, this goes back to non-ticketed versus ticketed. We're trying to take care of everybody. So on Wednesday, October 23rd, and Thursday, October 24th, Champion Square will be open to the public, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Parking will be available at Champion's Garage, first come, first serve. Days of the concert, 25, 26, 27, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Champion Square merchandise stands are in the concert perimeter, requiring a ticket at 2:30, and there's no re-entry. Think of it like a Saints game. Once you walk into Champion Square, you are inside the secured perimeter, and you cannot leave. Why is that important? If you're coming to the concert that day and you're going to spend $2,000 worth of goods and materials, you're not taking them back to your hotel room, right? So you think about that when you're coming to the concerts on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Once you're in, you are in. There are merchandise available inside the stadium, 100 and 200 level atriums, 300 and 400 level, as well as the terrace. Now, the Smoothie King Center will open 10 to 8 to accommodate merchandise sales without people who for people who do not have a ticket. Parking will be available on our campus at lots that are open on a first-come, first-served basis. So if you don't have a ticket, but you still want to come down and buy some merchandise at the Smoothie King Center on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you can do so. You can actually reserve a parking spot in our garages, parkwiz.com, and get that all taken care of. So Wednesday and Thursday, Champion Square, everybody come enjoy, 10 to 8. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, non-ticketed, Smoothie King Center, 10 to 8. And again, if you're a ticketed patron, 2:30, Champion Square. But you cannot leave. All of this information is on our website, CaesarsSuperdome.com. Have a great week. I'll be in Los Angeles with the Chargers and the Saints, so take care of everybody. Have a good time.
Well, thank you. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. And just the anticipation of large crowds literally throughout the city of New Orleans is what we are preparing for. And again, as we have learned lessons from other cities where they have hosted this tour. We also want to just keep it going. I want to ask Ms. Mary Beth Romick to come forward. New Orleans and Company, please come forward, a real partner, and please share from your perspective.
Feels so tiny back here
You're good.
to stand on my toes. This is really unprecedented for us, even at New Orleans and Company. But we're using this as an occasion to tell the world that no other city, I should say, is able to do what we do. You've mentioned Built to Host. We appreciate that. But we'll be hosting Taylor Swift, followed by the Super Bowl in just a couple of months, and then right on the heels, Mardi Gras. And we're just so proud that our city does it like no one else, and that's perhaps why Taylor chose to have 3 concerts here. We're expecting people from all over the country to come to New Orleans and maybe even outside. We've seen people travel to Europe from America to see her, and we're expecting the same. So for us, we are just ready as a hospitality community to do what we do best. We're at 100% occupancy Thursday night and Friday night, well above 80% on Friday night and Saturday night, 100%. Sunday night at about 80%, and we look to see that climb. And that's without knowing who's staying with friends and family, who's maybe in a short-term rental. So this is going to be fantastic for the hospitality community. And we really want to say thank you to the community who are stepping up. There are special things happening in hotels, restaurants, all across the Warehouse District, CBD, French Quarter, all Swiftie themed. So if you can't find something Swiftie to do, you're not looking hard enough, even going to see the aquarium where the penguin's going to have friendship bracelets on. Speaking of that, Madam Mayor is wearing one of our friendship bracelets that we're going to be sharing around the city to showcase the brand that is New Orleans. And we're just excited and happy that we get to do what we do best. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. And even at MSY, at the airport, we'll have a karaoke, Swiftie. So I said I may show up over there. At any rate, I believe that concludes all of our speakers. Any additional updates, anything you need to add, Director Chief? Okay, very good. So with that, thank you again so much. And just let's have a great week. We're excited to host, built to host. Yeah, show the love for sure. Thank you. Do you have some for them, Mary Beth? You have extras? Did Kevin leave?
He did. But we are going to be delivering